welcome to Boat Tour TV. Today we're going to do a walkthrough on Theo Toko, a beautiful Edmont trawler. You're going to meet Joe, the owner of Theo Toko, and he's going to walk us through the boat. This is a part one of a two-part series, so stay tuned for the outside, and then in part two, will be the inside. Thanks again. Make sure you like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you can be notified when we drop the next episode, part two of Theo Toko. Hey Joe, you around?
Yeah, Carl, is that you?
It's me, buddy. I brought some beer.
What's going on?
Hey, you promised me a boat tour.
You got it.
Good to see you.
You too. Come on.
What are you doing, a little work?
Yeah, just, always.
Nice, nice. Well, good. Let's check this out.
Sweet. Come on up.
Okay. Brought you a beer.
Hey, thanks a bunch.
Yeah. Here's to you.
Cheers.
Cheers. Hey, Joe. So we're on your boat, obviously, Toko. What is the full name of your boat?
So the full name is Theo Toko.
Which means?
That is Greek for Mother Mary, or technically for the one who carried God, which I figure is a pretty safe name for a vessel carrying anything. So
Yes.
Mother Mary, or the Queen of the Sea.
Cool.
She's watching over all the time.
I like it. I like it. And what type of boat are we on?
So this is an Ed Monk 36 offshore yacht.
Mm-hmm.
Typically falls in the category of the Taiwanese Trawler.
Okay.
So she cruises about 6-7 knots.
Mm-hmm.
So nice and slow. A true trawler.
Right.
Semi-displacement hull with a single Ford Lehman 120 diesel engine.
Okay. What year?
The year of the boat is 1982.
Cool. Break down for me, for the people that don't know that are watching. You said trawler. You said Taiwanese trawler. So let's break it down first. Why Taiwanese?
Well, I guess that's a combination of factors. They were kind of the more affordable end of the spectrum for me as a first-time boat owner and a young person. But what I've come to find is that all of the joinery on the boat, particularly the woodwork, is made with such awesome craftsmanship. I've talked with some folks who have been to the yards over there where these boats were made, and boats like Fleming are still made.
Sure.
And they talk about 50 people working on one boat, and everybody's doing it by hand. And you'll see some of just even the exterior teak where these joints happen is just beautiful. All the wood is rock solid, and the reputation of these boats is that they last forever.
Yes. Yes. No, absolutely. Okay. And then you said trawler. What's a trawler?
So I think that's one that's up for a lot of debate.
It is. That's why I'm pinning you to the wall.
My understanding of a trawler is one born from the old fishing fleets. So slow boat that's capable of some rough conditions, but also capable of extended time offshore. So fuel economy is probably one of the greatest things about trawlers, and their ruggedness, and the livable space is a little bit more than the bare necessities.
Sure.
So I also personally, my belief and understanding of trawlers is that they're beautiful too. And I'll talk a lot about that on all the woodwork on this boat.
Right.
So can we keep talking?
Yeah, we talk. It's the poopy boat. Hey, what's up, man? You having a good day? Yeah. Nice.
So I think the modern trawler is the confluence of a very industrial, rugged boat and a home that is nice to live in.
Yeah, so I would agree with you on that. When somebody says trawler to me, I immediately think aft cabin. That's the first thing that jumps to my mind. And obviously the reason it probably jumps to my mind is because obviously, we have a long-range cruiser.
Yep.
We don't have the aft cabin.
Yeah.
So somebody says trawler, it's like, we're not a trawler, we're a long-range cruiser because of that deletion of the living space, the aft cabin, which I know for you, since you're a liveaboard, is like critical. It's important. It's like really cool. It's a great feature. I love it on your boat. So she's fiberglass or wood?
Fiberglass hull, yep.
Okay.
Which is excellent. And fiberglass decks. They might have originally been teak. I'm not sure. But I'm pretty happy to have fiberglass decks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. She's powered by the Ford Lehman. You have a Maxwell windlass.
Yep. Yeah, so my ground and tackle here, it originally had 2 winches. The previous owner took that one off, and there's actually a hose in there, saltwater hose. So when you're bringing the anchor up, you can wash off any dirt and sand and stuff.
Sure.
I've had the Danforth anchor from the start. It's held well for me here in San Diego in mostly sandy conditions. Potential upgrade down the line for something with more holding power in different conditions.
Right.
I've got 30 feet of 3/8 or no 5/8 inch chain. And then this is just kind of my safety holdback device. I've never needed it, but
right.
they teach us in the Navy, secure the anchor for sea.
Absolutely. So we do the same thing on Babiega. And so what we did though was we actually have a bell pulpit, but what we did was we mounted a cleat. So we're not putting the force on the windlass, it's putting the force on the cleat. But no, I definitely, you know, it's a good thing to have. And then your roller's bronze, I see, brass. Yep, so is ours. I really like that.
So the windlass has a local switch here that you can use your feet on, and then there's another one inside. So if you're single-handing, you can do it from the helm station inside.
Nice.
I prefer to have a couple people, but
sure.
Yeah, and then worst case, you can crank it by hand.
Right, I saw that. But no, that's one of the things I like, and we have it on ours too, is because then you can hose off, your hands are free. So you can do one point of contact, you know what I mean? And control it with your foot and spray off your road and all that and get all the mud off of everything. So I like that, very cool. And then the deck is non-skidded.
Yeah, which I think this is some of the tougher non-skid.
It is, it's a little thicker, but it's nice. It's not tearing up my feet at all or anything like that. You can definitely spend some time on it. So, very nice. What do you say we move our way to the back?
All right.
Okay, cool. Okay, so we stopped midship because we came across something that's pretty cool. So I want Joe to talk about his nameplates. Tell me about them.
Yeah, so one of the classic trawler things is these nameplates, and this boat did not have them when I got them. So from the start, when I first bought the boat, I said, I gotta get some sweet nameplates. And then I started doing some projects, and I realized, you know what? I want to do them myself and have it be really like one of the most personal parts of the boat. So character piece, personality piece, whatever you want to call it. So I just found a guy who, during all this COVID stuff, was he's a wood dealer, and he's got a farm in Nicaragua, and he wasn't able to ship and stuff, so he was just selling out of his garage.
Right.
And got a long, uncut piece of teak, sent it through the planer, and did all the sanding and varnishing, and then I went to the sign shop. This is the real deal gold leaf.
Nice. Nice.
And it looks, I'm super happy with how it looks. I integrated my side lights as well. The old ones you can see are still here.
Right.
Project for another day. But the light wasn't good on those, and this is how a trawler should look. So I got these lights because they look the most like the old ones. And back to the part about it being mounted off, I did that so that I can take it off easily. So when it's time to revarnish, that's an easy project.
Sure, because it's a maintenance piece. I mean, you're gonna have to address it every couple years, you know what I mean? So it looks fantastic. I love the gold. Is that like a navy blue? Dark blue?
It is. It's a
very
super
cool.
Dark navy blue.
Yep.
Yeah, and the best part of this is if I ever sell this boat in 1,000 years, these are coming with
Absolutely.
me in the office.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When we bought Babiega, we sent the original owner the nameplates. Cool. Yeah, very cool. Once I took the measurements, so very cool. No, I like it. Turned out great. We were waiting this whole time to do a boat tour with Joe because these damn nameplates weren't done. Like, dude, finish this project. But no, it turned out really good. I'm glad it worked out.
Thank you.
Cool. Well, let's move in the back.
All right.
Okay, so as we're walking down the decking here, a couple things I noticed. One, side entry.
Yeah.
So we don't have that. It's I think it's somewhat unique to trawlers, which is pretty cool. Do you like the side entry? Do you dislike the side entry? Is there things you like or dislike about it? Talk to me about it.
Yeah, so I do like having the side entry, particularly having side entry from both sides. I think that's a super good safety thing, but also it's good for, just quality of life. If I back the boat in or if I pull it in bow first, either way, I have an ingress point.
Because you have a lower helm.
Yes.
Yes, we failed to mention that earlier. So yeah, you have a lower helm station. So yeah, and ventilation, I'm sure it helps with ventilation quite a bit down. Yeah.
So So yeah, this has been awesome. The door's a little sticky and it's a little narrow, but I don't really know how you could make that better on a boat of this size. So
Right.
2 has been great.
I was going to ask you about the stickiness because so on our boat, our rear doors, they're sticky.
Yeah.
Because it just drags on the track and the track's not really. So one of the fixes that we're going to be doing on Baba Yaga is you take a piece of like Lexan, which you can get at, a plastic shop, real thin, and you just lift your door, you lay that down, and it just slides on there. You can see it on the forums, you can read about them, and a buddy up in San Francisco did it to his LRC, and he's like, dude, one finger. In fact, when they're out, they have to secure the doors because now they slide. Wow. I'm like, oh no, I have to like lift, tilt, pull, like that type of thing. Also, one thing I noticed on your decks is you have like deck scuppers, like self-draining decks, yeah?
Yeah, so that was something I didn't realize I was so lucky to have for a while. And I have the nice deck scuppers, which are flush. You're not stubbing your toes on anything like that.
Right.
And then I also have the eyes where your mooring lines come
yes,
through.
yes.
Nice and big, so
they are.
You can get a couple of lines through there. Water can run off through there. Yeah, really appreciative of the self-draining decks. Haven't ever had a ton of water on board, but it's nice. Just even if like a little bit of rainwater comes out, it'll drain itself off, or I can sweep it off.
Sure.
No problem at all.
The mooring lines, how they feed through. I have a love-hate relationship with these, Joe.
Yeah, I bet your pinky toe does.
Exactly. So I love them because, so what he's talking about is this mooring line comes up through and it ties off to the cleat. What it does, it keeps up here clean. There's no cleat, there's no wear mark. So on ours, we have the cleat, then we have the wear bar, and you get a true chafing point, which a lot of people might not think about until you actually own a boat, and she rides through a winter, and then they're like, holy crap, I got to replace all my mooring lines because now they're all chafed. Yeah, you can run the leather sheath, which is a great idea, but yeah. It's great until, you hit that toe and you're just like, woo! Yeah, yeah.
The outside of the foot is what usually gets me.
Yeah, but no, I like them. I like that they're brass bronze. I love that. I love that they're patinaed out. It's so awesome. I love the patina look of it. To me, it's just very, like, classic.
Yeah.
One thing I like, too, about your boat is your handrail. I love the fact that they took these and they canted them at an angle. Like they're just not straight up and down. Which I want to say they're almost like they were ahead of their time.
Absolutely.
Because you only see this on like newer boats. Rarely do you see it on a trawler, and it just, not only the perspective from when you're land-based or somebody's looking at your boat when they're not, but standing here, like looking at it, it's like a guide. It's telling me, go this way, Carl. You know what I mean?
I totally
It's
agree.
super cool, yeah.
It really accents the natural lines of this boat. And I'm going to get a little nerdy on it.
No, go for it.
So I read a book about Ed Monk, Sr. So his son was actually the one who designed this boat, but very, very similar designs. And he was, everyone who is featured in this book talks about how reasonable he was and how practical and what an artistic eye he had. So I love the lines of this particular boat. If you look, the lines, the way the windows are raked in the front of the house here, and the mast, they're all at the same angle. It all matches. And then the angle of the handrails is the reverse. So
yes.
It's very complementary, very much a beautiful boat as it is a practical boat. Something I totally love, because I get asked sometimes if it's a Grand Banks or the comparison.
Sure.
And I proudly say no, it's not.
As well you should.
And,
yes. And that's not to diss, Grand Banks or any of the other trawlers, but it is what it is. I mean, appreciate what you have.
When I bought the boat, it was all bare teak, and everything. It looked good because teak looks good when it's bare and it's old. And so it just kind of gone gray, and I knew that would be a huge improvement, like we talked about earlier.
Sure.
And just the curb appeal.
Absolutely.
After I redid all this, so I had to, I did the whole TSP and oxalic acid treatment to clean it and bleach it, and then I sanded the heck out of it. And now at this point, I did it originally 7 coats of varnish, and I've done 2 more rounds of 2 maintenance coats. And since doing that the first time, you know, people stop by the boat and they say, wow, this looks great. And, you know, pride of ownership, and especially as a liveaboard, that's something that I really, you know, I love to, in the same way a homeowner would, would be.
New fence,
Exactly.
grass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've been super happy with that. It's a ton of work. Anyone who's done teak knows that.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to, as long as you stay ahead, you know, it's just maintenance every 6 months or so.
There's nothing like standing on your boat or being around it. Somebody walks by, man, your wood looks so beautiful. You're just like chiming in. Yeah,
That's the guy who knows.
Exactly. They can appreciate the work. Well, let's move on back. Let's see what else we got going on. Joe, tell me what that is, buddy.
So this hole here is for the emergency tiller. I've never had to use it, thank God. But if we were to have some sort of, you know, the rudder, well, if the rudder fell off, we'd be in trouble.
We'd be in trouble, buddy.
If I were to lose my whole hydraulic steering system,
You can manually come in here and.
yep, and then whoever's the most unlucky person that day has to stand here with the tiller.
So Johnny.
Yeah.
Johnny, we got a job for you, buddy.
Yeah, but hey, if we're on his boat and the same thing happens, I'll be the one back.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's what that is there. The lazarette has a ton of easy access, and all the equipment for that is down there.
Oh, nice. No, that's a great feature. I like that. And then, so I see you got a little ambiance going on here. I like it.
Yeah, so I stole this idea from a friend of mine who has a Grand Banks and with, you know, tri-cabin, aft cabin design just like this. He had these lights up, and I was like, I already have a string of those lights from when I lived on land. I'm gonna throw them up on the boat. So initially, I had them to the flagstaff, which was only about this high, so you always had to duck underneath and everything. So I just went to Home Depot and got, I guess it's a 6 foot, and I tried to varnish it, but it's not teak. I forget what kind of wood it is, but I varnished it and it didn't look better, so I went and I got a whole bunch of line and did a little bit of fancy work.
Yes, you did.
All in the Navy.
Yes, you did.
And then, so that gets it nice and up and out of the way. And actually, so the weight of the stick back here is nicely offset by the weight of the lights.
Oh, cool.
I was concerned about that down there, but it actually really balances quite nicely.
Very cool. I wrapped our gaffs with this wrap, with paracord.
Yeah.
It's a very cool wrap.
And it's, I mean, that's just ancient nautical.
It is. It's more tradition. I love tradition. And so, aft cabin, we have the top of the cabin. You have a hatch there. Nice. And then you step up into the fly bridge. Do you consider this? Do you call it a fly bridge on a trawler?
I do.
Okay.
I don't know what else.
I don't know what else to call it either. I mean, I just, okay, and then you have a mast, like in the middle of your fly bridge. Like, that's very trawler-esque.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we don't have those on long-range cruisers, but it's very cool.
Yeah, so one thing I do wish about this boat is a lot of trawlers you'll see will have a like straight up vertical mast and then a boom, which allows you a couple different options. One, what most people use it for nowadays is for raising, lowering a dinghy or engine. You can also like put it up at an angle and fly a huge flag. But the thing that I really, really wish is that I had that so that you can fly or raise a steady sail. Which I think is a kind of an artistic sailing piece of the past. You really only see it on motor sailors nowadays, and I guess a sailboat when they're under power.
Right.
So, because that is one thing about this boat, not being full displacement, not having a super deep keel or anything. When it's rough out there, you do kind of get tossed a little bit. So a steady sail would help with that. But, you know.
No, but I like it. I like the angle too that you were talking about earlier, how it's all angled off. So it's very easy to move around your boat. I like the handrails, like just simple things like that I notice. So the helm.
Yeah, so yeah, the upper helm here, this is where I do the majority of my driving from. I got these cushions redone at a little shop in National City rather than the boat cushion people. Saved a lot of money.
Saved a lot of money.
And I was able to keep my old cushions that way, so I've got them stowed.
Oh, cool.
So if somebody wants to lay on the back while we're cruising, I just give them the old cushions.
Right.
Yeah,
How often are you up here? Do you use your lower helm or upper helm more?
Typically, I'll use the upper helm a lot more than the lower helm. I mean, we're in San Diego where the weather's always nice, so why wouldn't you?
Right.
One of the things that I like a lot, and I didn't realize for probably like 4 or 5 months, was that this windscreen does such an awesome job. When you're standing, the wind will blow in your face. If you sit down, it's warmer. If it's cold,
sure.
And it's really awesome. I've seen some boats where they took it off, and I realized, like, oh no, bad idea.
Yeah, bad idea.
So that's been great. Yeah, and I drive up here. I have all my instruments up here. Obviously, engine controls.
Sure.
And then this boat has a bow thruster.
Oh, nice.
Most
Cheater.
boats of this size and class do not.
Right.
And actually, you say I'm a cheater, but the first probably 8 months that I owned the boat, the bow thruster was not working. So
okay, cool. So you had to earn it.
right.
I like it. Okay.
It's also a pretty underpowered bow thruster.
Yeah,
You see
they're nice to
modern
have.
boats can, spin in the wind and stuff.
Yeah.
This'll make it pretty, but if you're in trouble, you're in trouble.
So it's more of a fine-tuning thing.
Definitely.
Gotcha. Very cool.
Yeah, but this is the only control for the bow thruster. There's not one downstairs.
Okay. Have you ever thought of doing like a house up here, like
I
canvassing and glass?
Personally, I don't really like the look of that, and I know it creates an awesome, especially in the wintertime or just at night, another enclosed, warmer room.
Right.
But I don't really like the look of it, and it's another maintenance item, and when the isinglass gets, sunburnt and stuff, it starts to look bad. And from a maneuvering standpoint, it makes your windage almost twice. So I definitely... If it's windy and cold and rainy, either we drive downstairs or you put your jacket on. And I think that goes back to the question of what is a trawler. I think a trawler is a tough guy boat. And, you gotta stick it out in the wind, then you do it.
So be it. I get it. Very cool. No, I like it. It's very nice. Compass, storage under the seating, I'm sure.
Yes. So I guess a couple other things going on up here. There's a lot of storage underneath the whole console here. That's where I keep all the old cushions and stuff.
Right.
Propane is underneath here.
Yep.
I have a depth sounder repeater there, which is super cool.
Is it the one that bounces?
Yeah. Well, it's
so
spins,
cool.
But
okay.
yeah. And then I have VHF radio up here. And then underneath all these seats is storage, as well as one of the first projects I did, as any boater needs, is a stereo system.
Absolutely.
So I've got 3 Bose speakers up here, and then a 4th one down inside the cabin.
Nice.
That was all wired. Previously, there was no sound system at all. There was a cassette deck.
You're like, what the hell is this thing?
Like, didn't even go to power. So
wow.
And there's no evidence of speakers ever being anywhere. So yeah.
Where does everybody hang out on the boat?
Yeah. So social
what's the
spaces,
dynamic? Yeah.
It's interesting to see. It depends on the day and what we're doing. So in the summertime, everybody's on the deck. Usually more on the back deck, just because there's more space, and the swim step is back there and stuff, and the music is back there. But we dive off the front all the time too.
Right.
And
do you lower this during the summer, or do you like it for the shade?
Again, depends. Usually I'll leave it up. If we're going for a long cruise, I'll put it down just because it's the wind blowing on the canvas and stuff. It stretches it and stuff. But typically I will leave it open so that you have one area for shade up top. But then inside stays pretty nice and cool too.
Yeah, well, let's go down below and see what the inside looks like.
All right.